Hi, this is Kate from Izzalicious Designs. Today I'm going to show you how to do another one of our little fairies. We've done Tinkerbell, we've done Iridessa. I forgot her name, Iridessa. Today we're going to add Silvermist to the little group. So we're going to do her in a standing dress with her wings. Now, the tutorial for the fairy wings is a separate tutorial, so please make sure you have gone and found that and made these wings in preparation. As you can see, I've tipped them with blue, and I'm using for this particular doll, I'm using the Rainbow Loom Sweets. It's the turquoise blue, and I'm using those for her dress and also for the tips of her wings. Now, the standing skirt is also a separate tutorial, so please, if you're wanting to have a standing skirt, make one of these as well. As you can see, I have chosen to tip mine in the blue, and then I have the glitter white as the rest of my leaf. Okay, so you can do that how you like. Get that prepared while you're doing your preparation for this tutorial. So this is Silvermist. Now, Silvermist does not have a little tutu like the other two fairies. She has a slightly longer dress, and I will show you what I have done for her. She has, now I have taken a leaf out of Made by Mummy's book, and I've added these little bands here to sort of act as a ruffle at the bottom of her dress, so that it looks like she's got a little bit of a ruffle there. Okay, but again, she has her standing portion to the dress, and then she has this little ruffle to the bottom of her dress as well. So what we are making today is the doll with the little ruffle dress, and you will make her wings and her skirt in my separate videos that you will find on my YouTube channel. So let's get started. Single loom, offset configuration, columns 1 and 3 are going to be slightly lower than column 2. The arrow is facing towards you, or the open part of the peg is facing towards you. I'm going to be using skin tone. I'm going to be using the Sweets turquoise blue. I'm using navy blue and black as well, and I'm also going to be using these little mini pony beads. They're a 7mm by 4mm, so I will be using those for her eyes as well. There are lots of different ways to do eyes. If you don't like the way I do my eyes, feel free to use the eye method that you like. You really won't hurt my feelings. Now, Silvermist has blacky blue hair, and Rainbow Loom do not have a band that is black one side, blue the other side, that I know of. So what I'm doing, because I'm double banding, I'm going to use one blue, one navy blue and one black, and I'm going to put them on the pegs together. And it doesn't really matter if the blue is on top or the black is on top, as long as you have these together. I'm using Crafty Ladybug's technique for hair at the back of the head. And as I said, I'm double banding. So let's do the back of her head first. Now, I have done a couple of braids for her, and we need to add those to these pegs here. So what I'm going to do, take a single black, wrap it around your hook once and twice, and then you're doing alternating, you know, two bands, one black, one blue, and we're going to do about 8 chains. So that's 1, 2, 3, let's get some more bands ready, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Now her hair is such that she has it sort of swept from the right hand side to the left, so I'm going to put 2 braids on these 2 bands. Put my first braid there, put my bands back on, and I'm only going to put 1 on this one. Single band, wrap twice around my hook, and then we do 1 of each. 1, it will become clear. 2, 3, 4, and you're doing this by placing the bands on the end of your hook and sliding those other 2 over onto it and then reclaiming. 5, 6, 7, do 1 more, 8. Okay, and then again just lift up one side, slide it on and replace your bands. So that's 2 for that side, let's do 1 for this side. Single, wrap it round twice, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Lift this one up, slide on and pop back. Okay, so we're not going to worry about hair anymore for the minute. Okay, what we're going to do now is take some skin tone bands. The first one we're going to do is a single, wrap it around our hook once and twice and pop that here as an end cap, and then we're going to dig down past the end cap and grab the 2 blue bands and loop up. Then take the 2 top bands, loop to their corresponding side, do the same for the next 2 and the same for the bottom 2. Now for this one we're going to loop 1 more up here, we're going to loop 1 more here, and finding those bottom 2, just those bottom 2, and loop up 1 there. And I should have added a crossover band, so I'm just going to lift this up here, place a crossover band there, just lifting the top 2, crossover band, and the third one a crossover band, okay, just to make sure that it all stays together. Alright, let's lay our face bands. So push this all down. So take 2 skin tone bands, and we're starting here in the middle because this is all going to be hair. You really don't want these bands, especially in the face, to be twisted on each other, so try and straighten them out as you place them. Push down. Take a single, go from here to here, capturing those 3 pegs, then across the eyes, take a single, wrap it once, twice and 3 times, or twist it I should say, not wrap it. Now the eyes, I'm using black beads. As I say always in all my videos, you don't have to use black beads, you can use black bands, it really doesn't matter, okay? One band wrapped around your hook 4 times is the same as one bead. Slide them onto a skin tone band and stretch across these 2 pegs here, and then this center part of the band, this you're going to lift up and above that peg, and then that acts as a crossover band for us. Alright, okay, now we need to do her neck, so pop 2 bands here for her neck, and very importantly, before we go onto the shoulders, you need to grab the bottom skin tone bands that were part of the end cap and loop them above onto the top of the neck like that. That loops the back of the hair into the front of the face. Alright, now we're going to do 2 bands for shoulders, and her dress has a halter neck, so the 2 that we would normally do here for the chest are going to be blue. Alright, and then we'll start, we have 2 more skin tone here and here, but then we move to blue for the rest. So we're doing blue, I'm going to lay the bands first, and then we'll lift them and place our little extra ones for her frill at the bottom of her dress in a minute. I'm going to do bands for legs, skin tone, Now, for this area here, okay, what I've done is I've gone, because it's a skirt, I don't want it to be like trousers where I come one down and then we go up. We're actually going to be going downwards like this because it's a skirt, and I'm going to place an end cap in the middle here like that, which is a single band wrapped around your hook twice. So here we go, and as you can see, when I loop this up, it loops inside this. Now, well, let's do hands next. Let's do the fiddly part last. Single, wrap it once and twice, and we're sliding onto 5 pair. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and place on her shoulder. A single, wrap once and twice. 1, 2, 3, 4, oops, and 5. Place on her other shoulder. We'll do shoes, 2 blue bands, wrap once and twice, and you're going to be sliding on to 2 blue bands. I do try and lift and slide. I find they get less tangled if you lift and slide rather than roll. Says she, a great big tangle here. Alright, pretty that up a bit. Take another 2, wrap once and twice, and you're going to take the 2 here, these 2, up and over so that you have captured the wrapped band between those. Then we're going to take a skin tone band, slide the first 2 bands over, then the wrapped band, and then the other 2, and then reclaim the end of your band, angle the foot and pop it on the bottom of the leg here. Let's do the same again. 2 blue bands, wrap once and twice, and we're sliding onto 2 blue bands. Try and lift it. Okay, reclaim the end, 2 blue bands, wrap once and twice, move these 2 over the top so it's in between them, 2 skin tone on the end of your hook, slide the first 2 over, slide the wrap band over and slide the next 2, reclaim the end, angle your foot and pop it on the end here. Let's do our crossover bands. So across here we're just going to take a single and stretch it. Okay, so to do the ruffles of her dress I'm going to take this crossover band off as well. I'm going to basically be lifting this up and placing 3 bands here. Okay, I'm going to do the same on the other side. Lift this up and place 3 here, and these are for the back. Okay, I'm going to do the same for this one here. Lift it up and place 3. As we loop these up, these will be free at the back. Now the tricky bits are at the front, so let's loop up to this area here and then we can work out where we're going to put our loops at the front. So 1 and 2, 1 and 2. We're going to link up to the legs here, dig down past the end cap, grab the 2 top blue bands, hold that end cap in place. If it flies off, it's annoying. I can see it's trying to. Stay there, you silly thing. Grab the bands and pull down so that they are linked in here. Push your bands down. Grab these 2 and pull those down like that. Our crossover bands back. I've already looped this one up, so I'm going to unloop that, place a crossover band, put this back and place a crossover band over those 3 pegs. Now we're going to do the one that's twisted, looped on itself. Remember I said if you couldn't do it with your fingers so you don't hurt them, grab it with a hook and drag it across. And one up here too, which is looped on itself like that. Okay, now grab 3 bands. We're placing them on, if I can get my fingers right, placing them on this peg. Hold them out here, dig down, grab the 2 bottom bands and loop up. They can then flop down this way, and if you want you can just even loop that up so you're away from them. Alright, we're going to do the same here. Hold your 3 bands, and this time you're on this peg here. So first of all we need to loop this up and then dig down here and loop this up, pull those back down, go under and loop up and push things down. Okay, and we can fiddle with these after the fact. Okay, so dig down, find the 2 blue, loop up, get your 3 bands, place them on this peg here, dig down, grab the 2 bottom bands, loop up, pull this down, and then dig down for those bottom 2 bands and loop up. Okay, now let's loop the rest of these bands up. We'll do to the arms. push things down. If things look like they're going to fall off the loom, they probably are, so push them down to make sure. Now we need to do the arms before we do the throat. So there's one arm, especially important for this particular figure because she has a halter neck on, and so the blue bands need to be on top of the skin tone. Okay, now let's dig down, find those two bottom skin tone bands and loop them up. Now we're looking for the two top skin tone, loop them to the side. Oh, I have one that's playing walkabout. Loop the next two, and then the last two. There's one, let's find the other one. It's hiding with this end cap that is the same colour. Dig down and loop up. Here we're just going for the skin tone. There's two skin tone bands that you're trying to find. There we go. And the same this side, two skin tone. Now you're digging down for the bottom two. One is black, one is blue. I'm a poet, I didn't know it. And loop up. Now I'm going to use two black bands to tie off with. Push your hook down the center peg and out through the side. Grab your two black bands and you're going to drag that back to the back side of this peg. Reclaim and take the two closest to you up, over and off, and pull tight. Let's take her off the loom. Now, as I mentioned, there is a separate video on how to do her wings and how to do her standing skirt. So I hope you've either done them or you're going to do them after this to finish her off. Take her off the loom. What you're going to be doing is just pulling these bands so that they are angled sort of downwards, not so not pointing up as much as they are. So if you need to, for these center ones, you might want to grab a hook and just move your hook inside like that, so that you can drag them down a bit. So there she is. Pull her arms out and down. Angle her feet so she doesn't look like she's clog dancing. There we go. Now, for her hair, as you can see, I have sort of got this thing going over the top here. She looks sort of a bit like she should be wearing a bun. I did what basically they're crochet stitches. She has quite a high bouffant sort of hairstyle. So what I did was I grabbed a blue and a black and I went through some of the sides here. So I grabbed one of the black here and I grabbed a blue here, a skin tone on the side of her head, and I dragged two, a black and a blue, through like that, and then I went through and found another couple, reclaimed the end, grabbed another black and blue and dragged through. Oops, I lost my blue band then. Let's see if I can reclaim that. So there's my black and blue, pulled it forward. And what I'm trying to do is build up the top of her head to make her hair look a little bit more sort of buffy. Go through two here, and then reclaim the end of my bands, grab a black and a blue, and I'm going to drag those through. Now here, instead, I went through where I wanted, which was about here, and I reclaimed the end, oopsie, don't drop it, reclaim the end of my bands like that, But instead of grabbing another 2 bands, I used the tie-off bands. So I put the tie, hang on, there's the tie-off bands. Hey, come here. And drag them through. And I still have hold of it here, this side. Again, find a little spot that you want to drag through. I put my hook back through that loop from the tie-off band, and you're basically crocheting the top of her head to give her some height to her hair. But also, as you come down here, I'm going through 1 or 2 there, but also to the side of her face. It covers up some of that skin tone that is just on the side of her face. See how I'm dragging it back through? I'm going to go a little bit further. 1 band there, and maybe like there. Grab another. And this is, it's completely up to you how many you do. Drag it through like that. When you get to a spot that you're comfortable with, maybe about here, all I did was I started to make another braid. So from this point on, I'm just going to do chains using 2 bands, and do the braid for the front of her face. And this is more of a crochet style. And do it as long as you want. It's about the same length. Yep. Then I'm just going to take a single black band, slide it through, and tie it off with a slip knot like that. Now to hide my slip knot, you could either just trim it, or you can go up the inside of your braid with your hook like that. Grab the end of your band and pull it back up through, and just hide it inside the actual bands that you have. Okay, like so. So that's how I did her hair. Now once you have her wings on, as you can see, I attached her wings, and then what I did, see if I can show you quickly. I took a single band, so let me show you what I did quickly on here. I'll redo it. So there's her hair. Here's her hair, just like we have here. Okay, I attached her wings. Now on the video on how to make the fairy wings, it shows you how to attach the wings to her. So what I did was I put 1 braid this side, and I put the other 2 braids. I left the 3rd braid that we made, so this little braid here I left at the front, but these other 3 I took to the back. I had one side of the wings, and the other 2 the other side of the wings. I made sure that they were all sort of level. I made sure they were all lined up. I took my hook and I went through the center of each of these braids with my hook like that. I had a black band which I dragged back through each of those like that. Reclaim the end, tied a slip knot, and then with the slip knot I stretched it and put it over the wings like that, and then evened the hair out at the back so that the hair stays behind, well, in front of the wings and doesn't get in the way. So that's how I finished off her wings. I hope you enjoy. Take care. Bye bye.